Hi everybody, welcome to today's episode of In the Glow. I'm Shaylee, the National Education Manager here at 폴라초이스.
And I'm Desiree Storedall, the Senior Research and Education Manager. And today's show is all about myth busting. So I can start it off with one that we get asked about all the time, and that is whether your skin can adapt to skincare products or to particular ingredients. The really quick and easy answer is that no, your skin doesn't adapt to good ingredients and stop working. It doesn't stop reaping the benefits of them. What often happens is when you first start using a product or a particular ingredient, you do tend to see more dramatic results because they're treating something that you're trying to treat, right? Like when you think about our exfoliants, and if you've never used one of our leave-on exfoliants before, and then you see such dramatic results in the beginning because you're getting off those dead layers of skin. Yeah. You're helping skin unclog, decongest pores. You're helping skin smooth out. And from there on, as you continue to use it, you're maintaining those results. So there gets to a certain point where you can only do so much, right? Yeah. It's not like in the case, for instance, of our new niacinamide, our 20% niacinamide, it helps minimize pores. There will come a point where you can't totally erase pores. So we need those. You can't completely get rid of them. You can't completely close them. So even though in the beginning you might feel like you saw more dramatic pore minimizing, what you do over the course of time of using that product is maintain those results. Not to mention niacinamide has a wealth of other benefits from skin, but that's just an example of why I think people get confused and think their skin is adapting and it's not working anymore. So you don't have to worry about that. Keep using the good formulas, the good ingredients that you're using. Consistency really is key, and that's how you'll see really good results. Okay, which myth did you want to bust?
Well, speaking of retinol, there's actually a lot of misconceptions around retinol, and one that I hear all the time is that retinol exfoliates the skin. Retinol, I think, gives some folks the impression that it's exfoliating the skin, especially when you first start to use it, or if you start to use one that's too strong, because you might notice some sort of flakiness on the surface of your skin. However, retinol is not breaking down those dead skin cells on skin surface. It is not breaking down the bonds that are holding those together. Instead, it's actually working from kind of the inside out, and exfoliants are working from the outside in, right? Not really quite as much in, but really working on the surface level to break down those dead skin cells. Retinol, on the other hand, is working more internally to help your skin produce happier, healthy skin cells that are more plump, round, not dry, dead serrated. So they work better together. So use your AHA and BHA with your retinol. You can layer them back to back, which is another misconception. A lot of folks think that you can't layer them. You absolutely can, as long as it doesn't cause your skin any irritation, and go from there.
And with the flaking issue, if that's what people are seeing, if you see that like the first couple times you try a retinol product, that's fine. But if you continually see that, then you may need to switch to a lower percentage. You may need to experiment how you apply it. You may need to decrease frequency. So we always say it's a really good idea to start out, if you're brand new to retinol and you're using higher strength, like just try once a week and see how your skin does.
We have a myth that someone would like you to bust, which is, what about the myth that starting to use antioxidants, BHA or retinol too early in life will cause your skin to become overly reliant or dependent?
It's not true. So just think about it like if you were eating broccoli early on in life, and the nutrients you get from broccoli are still beneficial 50 years later. Your skin doesn't adapt to those ingredients. It doesn't lose its ability to retain their benefits. It's really like the diet analogy. What's good for you then can continue to be good for you. Of course, skin changes over time, so I'm not saying you have to use the same thing your entire life. Of course, there are things that are going to change about your skin, but in terms of what those ingredients can do, it remains true. Okay, another one we get asked about and we see a lot on social media is the whole myth of keeping your skincare products in the refrigerator to preserve them, or some of you just do it for fun. And truth be told, the issue is when you store them long term. If you just want to pop a moisturizer or a mask or an eye cream in the fridge for a few minutes and just to give your skin like a cooling sensation, that is fine. If you are keeping them in there long term, that's when it can start to take effect on their stability. So extreme low temperatures long term really can degrade the product. If it were just a shorter amount of time, Again, no big deal, but it's really those extremes where you have the extreme hot, the extreme cold. You don't want to do that to products. Another thing that I've seen is there's been some new trends of keeping certain skincare tools in the freezer. And that one scares me. Like that can give you freezer burn on your face, essentially. You don't want to do that. That kind of extreme cold contact with skin is not going to be good. So aside from what the skincare formulas are doing and breaking down because of that extreme cold, keeping tools in the freezer, absolutely not. Do not do that one. Maybe for like 2 minutes would be okay, but anything longer than that. Okay, did you have another one?
I'm going to bring it back to retinol. There is a misconception around retinol not being safe for daytime use. And retinol is vitamin A. Retinol is an amazing antioxidant. And if there's one thing we know about antioxidants is they are amazing for daytime use and wear, especially underneath your sunscreen. I pulled out the Intensive Wrinkle Repair Retinol Serum as a really good option for daytime retinol use because it's got the vitamin A, the retinol, it's got vitamin C, it's got vitamin E, so I call it my little ace serum. It has a really soft, velvety, beautiful texture that layers really wonderfully underneath makeup. Great if you are interested in introducing your retinol maybe twice a day if your skin can tolerate it. Daytime use may be one that's stronger in the nighttime.
Why are there myths about not using certain actives together?
Some of the myths stem from really old studies that used either higher concentrations or different forms or just not modern cosmetic formulations of these ingredients that produced results that were unfavorable. But we've then since been able to see studies come out that show that these actives, a really good one is niacinamide and vitamin C often gets said that you can't use it together. Research now shows that you can. It was like studies from back in the 1950s that have since been debunked. Retinol with all types of actives
Pretty much
over
every
the years gets a lot of misinformation on the internet, but sometimes it's either studies or it's not even always research. There is just information that's propagated out there that isn't always true, and that's why we look to the research and give you that information so that you can make informed decisions. So one other myth that actually just came up from a recent article was, this article was basically saying if you're putting your facial oil on before your moisturizer, you're doing it all wrong. And they were kind of calling out that thinnest to thickest recommendation for using your skincare products. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes, their point was that facial oils and oils in general block other ingredients from penetrating into skin. And here's why that's not true. First of all, oils come in all different kinds of ways. There's all different kinds of heaviness and molecular weights to oils. So making that blanket statement doesn't work. Also, when you think about your skin's natural oils, if it were true that oil blocked other ingredients from penetrating, then somebody like me with that oil slick of a skin wouldn't be getting any ingredients into their skin, and we know that's not true. And in fact, there are some oils that can help ingredients penetrate better. Coconut oil is an ingredient that can help the penetration enhancement. There's others too, but basically, whether you put your facial oil on before or after your moisturizer, it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna penetrate. The other ingredients are gonna penetrate. They're gonna go where they need to go and do their thing. That thinnest to thickest rule is a generalization. You don't have to take it as the final word. You can switch up order. So whether you do it before or after, it's not that big of a deal. If oil could block everything off of our skin from penetrating, then pollutants wouldn't be able to get in. And we know that's true, that they do get into skin. So just don't worry about it. Use your facial oil when you want to use it.
That's brought up another myth that's a couple of people are asking about, which is about coconut oil and whether it can clog pores.
So, okay, oils of any kind, it honestly depends on your skin type too. Oils of any kind could be pore clogging depending on the state of your skin to begin with. So if you're somebody with congested pores and adding more oil on top and not exfoliating, you can have that problem. But in and of itself, it just depends on how you're using it, and it depends on like what kind of formula it's in, how it's combined with other oils. If you're straight up putting it on your skin, people prone to breakouts are probably going to break out from that, like they would from many different types of oils. Okay, well, time is out, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We always want to know what you guys want to hear about, so please do write in and let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.